Don, it starts for the first of WINCANTON today. Tourgate Caravan Insurance Handicap Hurdle, 2 miles, 5.5 furlongs. It's a trip at all 12 standard ground. Let's have a look at the betting. On this fixture, 11-4 favourite here for Henry Daly. Jamie Moore getting on board for the first time. It's 9-2 and bigger the rest as we head back to Jonathan and Rachel on track.
And Honest Vic, the 3-1 favourite, Jamie Moore and Henry Daly, the favourite here. Better ground, expect to see him in probably a better light than what we've been seeing, Jonathan.
Well, he showed he handled soft ground at Ludlow, and he ran very well there behind his subsequent winner. So I think he's probably the right favourite in what is nevertheless quite a competitive race.
He's won twice, a bumper novice hurdle, both on relatively fast ground, and not a bad effort at Ludlow last time out. Pillansburg, 2 young horses at the top of the betting, 7-year-old for Paul Nicholls, and not too sure what to make of his Ascot run.
Well, he looked a threat, leaving the back straight with about 3.5 furlongs to go when they weren't jumping anything, but he then stopped, and you could take positives and negatives from that.
We've got the return of Bywise, 12-year-old for Evan Williams, and running a massive race at Sandown. He took that heavy fall in the valuable veterans race.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been beaten very far, if at all, and took a perler at the last, and it looks like a confidence restorer. I was hoping that the now quite well-backed Pineapple Rush might be the answer to this. Had a wind operation, certainly last time at Carlisle. I thought she was travelling okay and then just went out to nothing. If the operation has worked, she could go very close in this.
Won twice in novice company last season for Philip Hobbs today, one that has been backed in what looks to be a very open contest to kick things off here at Wincanton. Let's get up and join Richard Hoyles for the afternoon.
Thank you, Rachel. Yep. Starters races flag. Yeah, I struggle to find winners at the best of times, but I could have had loads of goes at this. You've got to be quite forgiving for some of them, for absences or being out of form. Some of them look well handicapped, but are they lights of former days? Away for Slates was very keen on the way down, which you may well have seen, and he might be restrained at the back early on in the black colours. So runners preparing to approach the starter, who has his flag raised as they turn towards him.
I'm going to have the log burner on tonight, tell you.
And they're off. Racing for the first, quite a sedate beginning, particularly for Way Out West, who was restrained once they jumped away as they head towards the first. Merry Milan, My Place at Midnight, amongst those that show up as they head towards the first, with Pillans Bar towards the inner. Away for Slates, held up after his antics on the way down towards the start, and Way Out West is the other one who's restrained early. Shortish run to the second, at which they're all over, with My Place at Midnight and Merry Milan cutting out the running by a couple of lengths. Racing in third place towards the outside is Cotton Club. Then towards the inner is Pillansburg in the red and green as we rapidly reach flight number 3. Racing in fifth place is Honest Vic early on. Out a little deeper on the course is Shillingsworth. And then behind these, the white cap of Pineapple Rush, who is in company with Sandy Mount, then Mercenaire Bywise. And as they arrive at flight number 4, the back markers over it are Way Out West, who's relegated Away for Slates now to be the back marker. So no alarms over the first few flights of hurdles, with Merry Milan out in front, leading by a length from My Place at Midnight in second. Pillansburg continuing to dispute third place, with out wider Shillingsworth, who's going to angle in. Between that pair is Honest Vic. They're third, fourth and fifth ahead of Pineapple Rush, who races just ahead at this stage of Cotton Club and Sandy Mount. Turn back towards home, with a little bit of progress being made by Way Out West on the inside of Bywise, then Mercenaire. And Away for Slates is still last of all. So the runners preparing to turn at the bottom end of the racecourse. And out in front, Merry Milan and My Place at Midnight. Shillingsworth comes next, just ahead of, in fourth place. On the inside is Pillansburg. No real alarms early on. Pineapple Rush and Sandy Mount comes next, with Cotton Club. Mercenaire held up this afternoon towards the outside, that's the grey horse, as they reach the first up the home straight, which My Place at Midnight arrived at first. Mistake by Cotton Club. 4 from the back. Way Out West is now racing quite freely. The nose-banded horse on the inside now amongst them. Bywise, Mercenaire, and last of all is Away for Slates. So heading up the home straight, racing towards the flight and the circuit's time will be the last. My Place at Midnight in the blue colours. Merry Milan towards the inside in the maroon and beige. They are the first two over it from Shillingsworth. Again, they're all over. Mercenaire was a little bit clumsy over that. It's just being pushed along at the back of the field. as they make their way up past us. So My Place at Midnight in the blue colours, on the outside of Mary Milan in the maroon. Then on the inside we have the red and green colours of Pillansberg, Honest Vic with the red collar, cuffs and cap, and on the outside Shillingsworth. Pineapple Rush is on the inside as they turn away from Sandy Mount, way out west, then Cotton Club Bywise, away for Slates and Mercenaire, who's still just pushed along as they now make their way round past the stables. They'll have another right-hand turn before they encounter the 4 flights in the back straight. And out in front, My Place at Midnight and Merry Milan. Then on the inside races Pillansberg of Honest Vic and Shillingsworth. Behind these, Pineapple Rush with Sandy Mount in the green. Behind those, way out west with Cotton Club. Gap of a couple of lengths then. Back to the rear trio, away for Slates, will be one of the last to rise over that. Bywise is dropping out towards the back of the field with Mercenaire. They're both detached at the moment, and Bywise is losing ground relatively rapidly. Pillansberg wasn't too good over that, as out in front still My Place at Midnight and Merry Milan. Pillansberg's still there on the inside, but had to be pushed back up after that error. Honest Vic still there, and Shillingsworth as well. Towards the outside, Sandy Mount and Pineapple Rush are both taking closer order. Cotton Club and Way Out West, as a few of them begin to toil. The 2 that are tailed off are Mercenaire and Bywise. This is last on the far side. It's 3 from the finish. My Place at Midnight, Merry Milan, and Shillingsworth on the outside. Honest Vic comes next, because if Bywise has been pulled up at the back of the field, Mercenaire is continuing, but is well behind the others, and now away for Slates is losing touch as well. However, the other 9 are still pretty tightly grouped. Merry Milan, My Place at Midnight, pursued as they were a circuit ago by Pillansberg, Honest Vic and Shillingsworth. Not been that much change in the order amongst the leaders. Behind these, on the inside, Way Out West is getting closer with Pineapple Rush. Now ridden along is Sandy Mount. Cotton Club comes next, and away for Slate is back in touch with that leading bunch of 9, who are beginning just to string out slightly as the pace increases round the final bend. My Place at Midnight out in front for Bryony Frost. Merry Milan in second place. Shillingsworth in third for Tom Scudamore. Pillansberg is now ridden. Reminders as well for Honest Vic as they race towards the second last. Merry Milan away to the left-hand side. My Place at Midnight. These 2 had their own private race so far. They're 4 to 5 lengths clear from Way Out West. Honest Vic makes a mistake. Staying on his Pineapple Rush towards the outside in the white cap. But My Place at Midnight has set sail and gone for home here for Bryony Frost in the blue colours. Merry Milan in second place. Then Pineapple Rush and Way Out West. But My Place at Midnight comes down towards the last with an increasing advantage. My Place at Midnight at the final flood of hurdles. It is over clear. In second place, Pineapple Rush has moved past the same owner as Merry Milan. Then back in fourth place is Way Out West, but off up the run in My Place at Midnight. Going to continue the good run of Neil King, another Wincanton winner for Bryony Frost. Pineapple Rush is second. It's tight for third. Merry Milan in company with Way Out West, and they were clear of Honest Vic in fifth.
Yeah, there's 4 start over hurdles. My Place at Midnight is 1 and 1 easy. Bryony Frost on board for the first time. Neil King, as Richard Hall said in his call, wins easy, beaten in second place. Pineapple Rush for Philip Hobson, Tom O'Brien. First run since win surgery. Mary Milan appeared back in third in the same ownership, trained by Nicky Martin, Sean Houlihan on board. As we're going to head back to market.